"10 hours from Vienna to Mauritius in Austrian Airlines business class. But is the Boeing 777 still competitive in 2026? On this Valentine's Day evening, we will test the lounge, the seat, the food, and see if this flight is really worth the price." Let's start our journey at Vienna International Airport, here in the arrival hall of Terminal 3. To reach the check-in area, we first have to head upstairs. Austrian has a dedicated business class check-in area, which can also be used by Lufthansa Group Senator members and Star Alliance Gold passengers. Check-in, security and passport control were quick and efficient, and within minutes we are already airside at the G gates where our flight will depart. But first, let's check out one of Austrian's business class lounges. Austrian has 3 business class lounges at Vienna Airport, and today we will check out the one here at the Golf Gates. Apparently, I only had eyes for the food, because that's basically all the footage I took. The lounge offers a decent selection of desserts, salads, bread, and hot dishes. I went for meatloaf with potato mash, although I accidentally called it potato salad, which confused the waiter a little. The food tasted good overall, nothing spectacular, but solid. Drinks include soft drinks, beer, wine, spirits, coffee and tea, so there's definitely enough to choose from. Overall, the lounge is nice, but fairly simple. Soon it's time to head to Gate Golf 36, located at the end of the hallway, which involved a lot of walking. The flight to Male is actually on my list for later this year. Maybe I'll retake it in November. Finally arrived at our gate, and boarding started almost exactly on schedule. Our aircraft for today, a Boeing 777-200ER, was built in 1998 and delivered new to Lauda-Air. Lauda-Air was later taken over by Austrian Airlines, and the aircraft joined Austrian in 2005. The aircraft is now 27.5 years old and will be retired by 2028. I'm seated in 3A, which is one of the famous throne seats. Business class on Austrian's 777 alternates between 1-to-1 and 2-to-2 configurations. Waiting at the seat are already a soft pillow and a blanket. The seat itself is spacious, with a few storage areas and drink holders on both sides of the screen. All seat functions are controlled by a touch panel on the left side, which is easy to use. Since this 10-hour flight departs in the evening, we will get dinner after takeoff and breakfast before landing. Shortly after boarding, the crew handed out both the dinner menu and the breakfast card, where you can select what you would like to eat in the morning. The menu actually sounded quite promising, although one of the dishes later turned out a little different than expected. There's also a good selection of soft drinks, beers, wine, and a lot of coffee options. Let's have a quick look at the safety introduction, which Austrian Airlines finally changed in 2024, after the old one dates back to the 2000s. The new animated video features highlights from the Austrian culture.
We will soon be ready for takeoff. Please make sure that the back of your seat is in its full upright position. Your table is stowed, and your window shade is open. Lastly, stow your leg rest, your in-seat reading monitor, and your headset in their original positions. For further information, have a look at the safety card in your seat pocket.
And with that, we are ready for departure from Vienna. Because it's already dark outside, there isn't much to see. But we still get to enjoy the incredible sound of the 2 GE90 engines. Once airborne, let's explore the seat a bit more. We have the headphones and the Amenity kit, which I will show later. The headphones are fairly basic on-ear headphones, but they do the job just fine. The Inflight entertainment system worked smoothly and navigation was quick and responsive. There are TV shows, games, music, and in total 213 movies available. Plenty of options for a 10-hour flight. After reaching cruising altitude, hot towels were handed out and dinner service started. First up was a small pastry with one shrimp. It tasted okay. For the starter, I chose roast beef on creamy coleslaw with lettuce, which was actually very tasty. Next was the soup, a clear beef broth with a cheese dumpling. Simple but good. For the main course, I went with the braised beef cheeks. However, this dish looked completely different from what I expected. The beef was breaded and cut into small pieces, and unfortunately the breading had become a bit soggy. The meat itself tasted good, but overall it wasn't too impressive. The clear highlight of the meal was the dessert cart. There were cheeses, fruits, cake, creme fraiche and chocolate pear soufflé. I chose the vanilla creme fraiche with berry compote, and this was absolutely delicious. By the time dinner finished, we were already somewhere over Egypt, and before going to sleep, let's take a quick look at the lavatory. It's small and quite basic. Honestly, the main difference compared to economy seems to be the refreshment towels. But at least everything was clean and well maintained. Time to get some sleep. The seat converts into a fully flat bed, and in bed mode you also have seat controls next to your head. There's enough space to turn around comfortably, so getting a few hours of sleep is definitely possible. Time flies, and suddenly it's morning over the Indian Ocean. Another hot towel is handed out, and the sunrise outside is absolutely beautiful. And with that, the breakfast service begins. The tray table slides out of the seat with the push of a button. It's a good size, although a little wobbly. Breakfast started with a small energy shot. I ordered eggs sunny side up with bacon and toast, plus some fruit. I also asked for muesli, but unfortunately it never arrived. Overall, breakfast was okay, but nothing special. Before we begin our descent into Mauritius, let's take a look at the Amenity kit. The bag itself looks nice and reusable. Inside you will find earplugs, socks, a toothbrush kit and a sleeping mask. So it's quite basic, but it includes the essentials. We've now started our descent into Mauritius. And there it is, the island appearing in the morning light. Even after my 7th visit here, this view never gets old. As we are closing in now to the airport, how was this flight experience overall? Let's start with the Austrian business class lounge in Vienna. It was solid but fairly average. Good food, but nothing spectacular. I would rate it a 6 out of 10. The crew on this flight, on the other hand, was fantastic. Friendly, professional and attentive. I even had a longer and fun chat with the purser. That was a 10 out of 10. So how about the seat? The throne seat was introduced 13 years ago, but it's still surprisingly competitive. The seat offers a lot of space and a good amount of privacy, although they usually cost about €250 extra. Overall, I would rate the seat an 8 out of 10. The food was a bit of a mixed experience for me. Some dishes were very good, others a bit disappointing. The main dish was simply not what I expected, but I also think the menu part was a bit misleading, and for the breakfast, it was fine. Eggs were fresh, bacon crispy, that's just a bit too basic. But the dessert was outstanding. Overall, I would rate it as 7 out of 10. The entertainment system is good, with plenty of movies and a large screen. However, the amenity kit is basic, and the biggest downside is that there's no Wi-Fi on board. Since this aircraft will be retired by 2028, Wi-Fi will also not be installed anymore. So overall, only a 6 out of 10. Altogether, it was an enjoyable flight, although some parts could be improved. In total, I paid for this round trip to Mauritius and back to Vienna €3,580, which includes the surcharge of about €500 for the throne seat. And with that, welcome to Mauritius. And if you enjoyed this flight review, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thanks for watching.